Well, I just broke my Hot Toys Alien Romulus figure and I'm super pissed. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I will show you guys how I managed to break this $300 Alien Romulus figure from Hot Toys. Well, it was $300 when it first released. Now I have seen some people, charging $450 to $500 for this guy. So I'm pretty much gonna show you guys how I managed to break the figure, which is pretty much the peg right there, how to fix it and how to avoid that mistake. So yeah, stick around. So quick story short here. Essentially what I did while filming his review, which is gonna come after this video, like I said, I was planning to do or to include this segment into his review, but I thought it would make an interesting separate video, so that's why I will show you this video first, before the review. So essentially what I did while filming, I was pretty much changing his hands to make like a crawling pose or like a running pose. And since the figure comes with a lot of hands, I just thought, to pretty much, change his hands. And while I was changing the hands, essentially what happened here, and luckily Hot Toys is including extra pegs, but as you can see here, one of the peg actually broke and actually was stuck inside the hand. That wasn't a big issue because I was able to remove that, that small piece of plastic that was stuck in the hand. I was pretty much using like a very small, screwdriver, just remove that. But then the issue is, as I was trying to remove this ball joint from inside the socket, then the peg on the other side pretty much broke. As you can see here, I tried to remove it using pliers. But there's actually a technique that you could do which pretty much would have saved me a lot of time, because I used drilling, I used a couple of techniques and pretty much wasted pretty much half a day doing this, which is not cool. So yeah, I'm gonna show you guys what I did to pretty much prevent this from happening. So yeah, essentially you see here on the figure you have this like rubbery sleeves. The problem is, while this sleeve is covering the joint inside, it's very hard to like use pliers, to actually take that out. It's almost impossible because there's not enough space, as you can see. But there's a technique here that I found. You can actually fold this, back almost like a sock. Fold it onto itself, which is not gonna damage the figure or the plastic. Is very durable, this thing. I mean, I'm surprised that I haven't scuffed it or anything like that. As you can see, it's pretty much brand new, like the other one. So essentially just fold this over, and then you would have access to the ball joint. Then it's easier to like use pliers and just pop that out. You would have fixed the problem within like 30 seconds. But however, the issue is, I didn't know about this, obviously, because like I said, that would have saved me a lot of time. So then I used pliers to pull this off. But while doing that, essentially the peg broke inside his forearm. I'm gonna put some pictures above, so hopefully it's gonna be a lot easier to to understand. So then I faced the problem that, okay, now the peg is stuck inside the forearm. Okay, how do you manage to take that off? That became another problem by itself. I used different tools. I used like an X-Acto knife, which I ended up breaking. But then I said, wait, I have a better solution, which is obviously drilling the hole inside. And here's essentially what I used, to fix the issue. You can grab this, all over the place. You have this Walmart, Home Depot, even Amazon has like this like small drill kits. The ones on Amazon, what's cool about that, some of them are like USB-C powered. You don't have to buy the ones that have like this connection right there with the wire. But yeah, what's interesting about this, you have obviously different drill bits right there, depending on how big the issue is. But I essentially used this one right there, which is again very small. And again, you want to make sure while you're drilling this, you want to make sure that the drill bit right there is essentially the same dimension as the peg right there. So as you can see, it's pretty close. So again, what I did is, again, I protected the figure, put a cloth around this forearm, and then I drill inside. And then probably took me about 30 seconds, you know, once pretty much this piece right there was pretty much stuck around the drill bit, and you know when the extra piece inside is removed, because you're gonna hear that click, you know, when once you drill inside the arm. So again, I should have actually filmed me while I was doing that. Again, I was pretty nervous because I never used like a drill on a figure before. Again, this is very handy to do, so it's pretty cool. Again, took me 30 seconds, and that's something that I should have done from the beginning, you know, rather than using some primitive techniques to remove that peg. So again, you learn every day, so I would thought that this would be a very interesting video to make. So obviously guys, when you're doing you know, this type of customizing or a mod, whatever you want to call it, to fix your figure, make sure first of all you place your figure on something soft. Again, you do not want to damage you know, the integrity of the figure or the plastic, the rubber, because obviously these things are very expensive. The last thing you want to do is, you know, to screw it up even more. So what I did, I pretty much used like a pillow like this, you know, and pretty much protect the figure as much as I could. Before I drilled, you know, the hole inside the forearm, I put some wraps around, you know, put some I guess cloth or whatnot, just to protect the figure. Also, what I do recommend while you are changing the hands, and this is a technique that I've been using for years, make sure you essentially grab the hand like this with your fingers, and then essentially when you're trying to pull the hand off, you know, just rotate it slightly, and that's pretty much what I did, and then it still snapped. Because essentially, and I'm gonna grab this real quick for you guys, the pegs that Hot Toys are using are very thin, as you can see here. Just grabbing this out. Give me guys 1 second here. So luckily Hot Toys are including this, you know, which is very cool. So let me take this out real quick here. As you can see, just to demonstrate again another example here. So first, this peg right here broke inside the arm, again the hand. That wasn't a big deal, but then this part right here was the one that was stuck inside the forearm. So as you can see, the plastic is very thin on this, just because you have the articulation on this weird ball joint. And again, I don't understand why they are still using this type of joint, because other bigger figures like, let's say, Thanos or like Hulk or like Venom, they actually use like a double ball joint. There's, you know, there's like two barbell, you know, on each side, and then there's like a plastic connector inside. So again, it's still weird. I haven't broken like a Hot Toys peg since like the DX10, so that's a very long time. But essentially, you know, this part right here I had to drill out, you know, inside the forearm. So yeah, you know, it's a pain, but you know, it is what it is. Also, there are different techniques. So when obviously you know, swapping your hands, you can use like a hair dryer. Sorry, you can put like some you know, warm water just to soak and to soften the plastic inside right there, as you can see, because this is pretty hard. It's still obviously very bendable at the fingers, so this obviously can prevent, you know, obviously the breakages. But luckily, again, Hot Toys are including some extra pegs, so that's also very cool too. So guys, as usual, thanks for watching. Make sure you give me a like, subscribe to the channel. I hope that this video will help a lot of people. That's always a goal of mine. You know, I'm not always doing reviews, you know, and I thought that this would be like a very interesting video to make, because it's something different that I'm not always doing. So I hope this help you guys out there. And again, it's very easy to fix. Just take your time, and it should be all good to go. So yeah guys, make sure to stick around. The video is gonna come, the full review on this badass alien Romulus figures from Hot Toys, one of the best alien figures made out there. So yeah, have a great day guys, see you soon on the next video. Bye bye.